Here we are on a Wednesday afternoon, and nobody wants to see my face. Uh, I thought we'd make a few comments about silver. One of the things that has thrown a monkey wrench into the price of silver, and even more so into the price of gold these days, is simple fact that this impending economic cliff everybody's talking about, if it isn't resolved, and if it isn't resolved pertaining to capital gains, then a lot of people are going to take their profits on silver and gold, and because all the paper transactions in silver and gold, there's a record of, obviously, and people that sell for a profit have to pay capital gains, and capital gains are going to be raised um, almost doubled if people go over the cliff and nothing is resolved. And so people to lock in that they only have to pay 15% on capital gains, there might be a considerable sell-off in paper gold and paper silver. Now, in reality, that doesn't affect us much because if there is, there's a good chance it'll bounce right back, and it'll bounce back because of what I've previously mentioned about these three silver mines. Uh, the only major producers of silver only all lost money last year, and they have to have well over $31 an ounce to make money, and it cost them a considerable amount of money to shut down. So they'll be struggling on, perhaps. But if gold sinks below 32 or $3 an ounce, it might prevent a problem for these people, and that access to that silver might be taken off of the market. And other things, everybody says, well, that computers are going to be down, and this is going to be down, that's going to be down. Listen, you take the biggest growth place in the world now is Africa, and you've got 1 billion people in Africa, and they're not going to uh, lay out landlines for telephones in Africa. They're all going to be cell phones, and all the people, even the poor people, are going to need the use of computers and electronics, and so that there'll be a continued demand for industrial silver. It may slow down in this country the amount of computers they buy, but a lot of people, as their old computers wear down, become obsolete, still have to replace them. Business has to keep up to the quickest computers available just because of the amount of money that's involved. With the information now, I explained this before, uh, how every nanosecond that is saved with these new logarithms comes up to 100 million bucks profit. And so Goldman Sachs put their computers right next to the New York Stock Exchange's computers, and that saved 27 nanoseconds, and each of those nanoseconds over a year's time is worth 100 million. So they made 2.7 billion just by moving their computers. Now they don't have inside information, but they are allowed. They act the same time as everybody else acts, but the closer your computer, the faster you get the trade in. So uh, uh, these big industrial people and bankers and all aren't going to stop buying computers. They're going to keep updating them because they want the fastest things out there. So I don't think that the industrial use, even in this recession, will go down that much. There is sort of there's going to be a slowdown in solar panels coming into this country because of the fact that the big tax break for solar panels expires at the first of the year. So there'll be ups and downs in demand, but as more and more people set aside bullion, and now we're up to about 20% of silver that's unaccounted for in industrial use and in jewelry use. Uh, uh, but it is being stashed away by people like you and me. Now that silver, although it's part of the recorded mine silver, that silver goes off the chart. You'll see, and the demand is pretty damn strong from people like us. You see, 2 years ago they produced 300,000 kookaburras, sold out. Last year they produced 500,000 kookaburras and sold out. And next year they've announced they're going to produce 1,000,000 kookaburras. And the Perth Mint, I'm sure, uh, uh, is absolutely sure that they're going to sell out. They wouldn't be making them just to keep them and hold them. But the kookaburras, the markup on on 2013 kooks may not be that strong. Now here's something that I did the other day, and I think I announced it. Is I went out and I bought ordered 20 ounces of 2013 Eagles. Now I took a gamble. For one thing, it was free shipping 2 days ago, Monday, for AppMex, so that took off of $1 a piece off of the 20 Eagles that I would have had to spend for shipping. Now the other thing is that I've locked in the price. The January 18th is when these things will be minted and sent out, and I've locked in the price. Uh, Now today's price for Eagles I locked in for January. So I'm gambling that if there is a sell-off on silver, that we will more than make up for it, and hopefully make up for the premium that I paid in early January when the new Eagles come out. Now also interesting is Eagles aren't used for industrial use. We know that. They're used for no other reason than as bullion and people hoarding them. And last year they ran out of American silver, which they're required to use for Eagles, and so they sold out of Eagles. Now, as the demand increases, the Eagles become the most popular bullion coin in the world, and it will continue that way as long as we have enough internal silver being produced to keep it ahead of the Philharmonic and whoever else is big in the game there. So I think you have to be careful. This is going to be a very crazy month. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and it depends on how crazy the paper people go at the end, whether the Soroses and the Slims and everybody else, the Goldman Sachs and the J.P. Morgans, whether or not they're going to drive the price down, or whether or not people are just going to have the price slip down by the fact that they're selling and they want to lock in their capital gains. But there's not many places you can safely put your money. So a lot of these people might very well sell silver, take their capital gains, and then buy it right back. So it's going to be an interesting time, but I want to understand that there's a different type of play that's taking place now than we've had for a while, and that's due to the termination of the 15% capital gains. So take everything into consideration, um, and I'll tell you, as I tell you, I can't advise you to do anything, and I never advise anybody to do anything, but I'll keep you abreast of what I'm doing, and I'm still buying on the dips. Thank you very much.